So after watching this episode of Sword Art Online, I honestly felt one of the biggest things that jumped out at me and made me really think is that I feel that with this Gale Online, thus far from what I'm gathering, we could have gone on into the story without even Kirito, because Sinon's backstory that we get full exposure to within this episode just really jumps out at me, and it feels as though she could totally carry the story at the very least, for the most part, without Kirito. This could have been just maybe a spin-off in the Sword Art Online universe instead of actually a continuation, because thus far, from what I gather, Kirito just kind of feels like a plot device opposed to, like, this feels as though, especially the focus that we've been getting in the latest 3 episodes, or the first 3 episodes, is this is all focused on her. This is her story. She has some trauma in her past, and by the way, that past, really dark shit, and it just, the effects that it's having on her right now, and I think what she's doing right now is really not going to help her at the very least. I honestly feel as though her trauma is so bad, and if she's wielding guns, and she is just, you know, playing with guns, shooting people, getting shot at, she's no fear inside of the video game, but she's still having these traumatic attacks, because I mean, my gosh, the flipping out that she was doing in this episode when she was just going absolutely apeshit seeing that gun. I think she really is trying to mask the fact that she can't get over this inside of a game. This is something that is a traumatic experience in real life, and until she faces this in real life and gets some help in real life, it's never going to go away, because she is just practically a master of guns in Gale Online. She's one of the best snipers, which it really plays off nicely of the ironic situation of in real life she's fucking terrified of guns, she had a traumatic experience, but in the video game she's one of the top snipers. The irony, it fits very well, and I think it's really an interesting dynamic to the character of kind of the human psyche in a sense as well. Like, in certain situations, you can be totally different than what you are. Like, a traumatic experience in the real isn't affecting her in the slightest in the video game. Or maybe it's the fact that that was so traumatic that she is just absolutely dominant inside that video game. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look closely in that backstory, as a little girl, she had a great shot. She shot the dude straight through the head, shot him in the chest, shot him, like, you know, in very specific points. So, if she could do that as a little girl, maybe some of those skills carried over into Gale. Maybe in the real she could still do something like that, but it's just, in the real, she is just so fucked up from that trauma that she just stood like that. And the way they're just setting things up, it's honestly making me think, like, we don't need Kirito. I'm sure there's going to be some great stuff with Kirito later on, and just the pacing, again, is going real smooth as of right now. Episode 3, we're still in the clear with the pacing. It doesn't feel like it's just hopping over shit left and right. I mean, there's characters where it's like the nurse in this episode, for example. I don't remember this nurse at all from part 1. Maybe she was there, maybe she wasn't, maybe she was skipped over, but those are the effects from part 1 that linger into this stuff, because I feel, honestly, like Sinon's story is just so interesting that I want to see a very good blend where Kirito becomes relevant, because as of right now, this feels as though this is Sinon's story. This is her struggle. These are the things that she has to go through. This is her specialty. This is her life. And Kirito is just kind of like the thing that I guess is going to be the thing that rescue her. And that's one of the things that we kind of like have pinched at him in season 1, that he's just like the Superman, you know, coming to save all the bitches, like, yo, dog, I'm Kirito, dude. So he's going to play that role to a certain degree in this one, because, I mean, when she's laying in the bed saying, somebody please save me, I feel so bad for her, by the way. Like, I love Sinon after this episode. I feel so bad for her when those little fucking demon bitches, like, kids in school can be the most meanest motherfuckers. I mean, everybody's been picked on. I've been picked on when I was younger. And to just see something like that with these little fucking pieces of shit, I just wanted to fucking strangle them. How they're just like picking on her saying, give me 10,000 yen. 10,000 yen, I'll give you 10,000 foots in your fucking ass. Really got me fucking annoyed. But then again, that's what they were trying to do, because at the end of the day, those are some fucking little shitty kids. And I'm curious what happened to her mom, because we found out that Sinon's dad died in a car accident when she was like 2. But the mom, after that, she kind of looked at her like a demon. Even though your daughter just saved your life, yeah, you should be in shock or whatever. She just saved your fucking life from a robber, and you're looking at her like she's a monster. Like, some people need to be slapped the fuck up like 80 million times, because why would you do that, you dumb bitch? One of the few things of this episode that I didn't really care for, and I felt as though it was just kind of, let's please get past this, which it seemingly is getting past this, so that's good, is when we were in Alfheim, and just feel so lovey-dovey at this point. Like, yeah, it's good to see, you know, characters love each other, and I always say I'm all for it because it's just such a thing in anime and manga where the main character doesn't have the girl that he likes or whatever. So good in that aspect, but they're just like, oh, but this is home. And the character of Asuna just really is so different from how she started off in the very beginning of SAO. She went from like hardcore to just, please hurry back, honey. So I was just like, hopefully we don't have to revisit this for a long time, especially fucking Oni-chan down there waiting for fucking her brother's cock. It's like, no. And then we get a little bit more of Death Gun and that he's targeting Sinon. It's like, this episode really made me like Sinon and feel so fucking bad for her. She's getting picked on the reel. She's getting targeted for her life by this fucking Death Gun piece of shit. And the game is like, poor Sinon. And finally, we got Kirito. He headed into the game, Gale. So hopefully within the next episode, he's going to be meeting up with her. I can imagine it being maybe towards the end of the next episode, they meet or something like that, which would be, you know, about time. But ultimately, this was a very good episode. When you can make me in the third episode care about a new character, because remember, this is Sword Art Online. We had 24, 25 episodes for season 1, and I already really care about Sinon. In fact, I like Sinon more than most of the characters from SAO 1. Her characterization, just seeing what she's about, her backstory just made me adore the character, feel so bad for her, and it's like, I'm really like enjoying this shit. Like right now, SAO 2, the first 3 episodes of SAO 2, I feel is way better than the first 3 episodes of SAO 1. SAO 1 had a really good first ep, and the second, third ep were alright, but it's not doing these huge fucking like 10-day time skips out of nowhere. It's just really pacing nicely. The only complaint I had was like, too much lovey-dovey with that particular portion of Alfheim, but I don't think we're going to be visiting Alfheim anytime soon, so that's good there. And it's just like, Sinon, I love Sinon right now. She's fucking amazing. This character is like, I really want to see her jump through some of these hurdles of this trauma that she has with these guns, and just the irony playing off of each other. Just, this was a very good episode. It didn't need action. You don't always need action. When you're getting a backstory like this, it's just like, Sinon, baby, let me be your savior. But let me know what you thought of episode 2 of SAO. Were you a little bit put off by some of the romance with Kirito? What do you think about the pacing? Do you feel as though SAO 2 can blow chunks on SAO 1? I honestly feel that by the halfway mark, we will know for sure, at the very least, because, well, then again, you know, it could go downhill because that's SAO 1, but I honestly think that SAO 2 is going to just blow dog shits, especially, like, these first 3 episodes is better than probably almost all of Alfheim. I will say that. Sinon for the win. Just your overall thoughts. I mean, this episode made me kind of like a little bit, tiny bit of a Sinon fanboy, so there you go. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.